Hi guys, it's me again. I'm on stage the whole time today. Yeah. Alright, got my phone. So, morning Zooms, morning everyone. Happy New Year for those I didn't meet last week. So this is my turn to share an overview of the community. So I won't talk about the increase of SL tickets or Christmas jokes or last year jokes. Niels and I were doing that last week already. So before I crack on with the overview, I wanted to remind us what your mother shared at the beginning of last year. So last year was the year of the Black Rabbit, and it goes like this. So the year of the Black Rabbit has dawned, in which your most earnest wishes will become tangible beacons of hope and illuminate all of humankind. This year, the 11th year of Chonoguk, which sees the conclusion of a 10-year cycle and a new beginning, is the year of the Black Rabbit, filled with indescribable delight and joy in which the providence unfolds substantially on earth together with the dream and wish of the Creator, our Heavenly Parent, and with true parents. Like a rabbit, be industrious and fruitful. This is the year of an intelligent, well-loved animal that people cannot treat thoughtlessly. Notably, the color black draws in all light. No one can deny the warmth we feel as we gradually receive more heat from the sun. In other words, all the unpleasant things that were unsatisfactory last year are gone. I hope that centered on Heavenly Parents, you will become united, blessed families and chombo couples that can newly cherish and embrace people in all situations, and that you ultimately become blessed families that are respected and spoken of with pride as victors in front of heaven and all of humankind. So, just to give you a breakdown of today, what I wanted to do, instead of giving we did this and then that, it's kind of boring. I wanted to break it down into 3 parts. The first one is actually to think about why reflect on last year, and then we'll have a trip down memory lane, and then to end it off, I thought it's nice to share what lessons I've learned from last year. So, why reflect on 2023? I actually wanted to first ask a question to the Zoomies, but I won't get a response. I'll ask the people here. Who here likes to journal or to write in a diary? Does anyone here do that? Raise your hand. Oh, we actually have 2 people. Yeah. So Nina writes in a diary, and myself. So for those who didn't raise their hands, I'll ask you this question. Who here likes to think, pray, or daydream? Raise your hand. All right, that's actually a few more people. So I think I know everyone reflects in one way or another. For those who didn't, maybe you call it something else. But for myself, I think reflecting is really important. And yeah, there are loads of reasons, just as there are many reasons why I like fika. But I won't share all the reasons why I reflect or why I journal in particular. Instead, I'll try and share 3 points why I think journaling or reflecting changed my life or is important to me. So the first reason is actually that it gives me clarity and helps me to live a life with intention. So this is a quote from a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He was known as one of the good emperors. So it goes, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. So this quote, what it tells me is, I've got my notes here. A lot of my life, I think, I am one of those who can definitely say I ride, let's say, waves of emotions. I don't know if anyone else experiences that. Like, you have a situation, you become angry, you react to it, you blame someone, and or you're really happy, you're over the moon. But for a lot of time, especially growing up, I felt like, I always responded to situations. And actually reading and going on STF and many other things has taught me actually, with the power of writing down your thoughts or taking the time to look inwards, you actually can sometimes realize things about yourself. Like maybe I'm not as patient as I want to think, or actually maybe I have a bad habit of interrupting people, or maybe I'm actually a great cook, I just never appreciated myself. So this quite really hits home to me, like actually how your mind and your soul depends on how you think about yourself, and it's important to take perspective, and reflecting helps me to do that. So the second reason why I love to reflect, pray or journal is to connect with, is to deepen my relationship with God, to deepen or to connect with God, Heavenly Parent. It was really hard to find a quote about reflecting from true parents. They don't seem to worry about self-reflection. They're always concerned about others. But this quote explains it really well. So I'll read it out. The more we reflect on the course we need to complete, the more we realize that completion is not possible by personal effort alone. This is why people of faith have to pray. So this one you can interpret that maybe prayer is reflecting for you. Some people say it's more of a conversation. For me, this point, what it reminds me is one of the lessons I keep learning in life is how important it is to reconnect, or how you need God in your life. I've had my life without God, and I had a great job. I had motorbikes and money and everything I wanted, but I wasn't actually happy. And actually on deeper reflection within myself, I came to realize the problem I had was that I didn't have God in my life. It was a pretty rough time when I didn't have God anymore. He wasn't a necessity. So actually repenting, reflecting, really helped me to reconnect with my family, my community, changed me to who I am today, I think. So actually it's one thing that I learned from Anne-Marie and my dad. For some reason they always remind me without saying, like, you need God in your life. Do you pray? What's God's viewpoint? So this one was especially important to me. And the third reason why I like to reflect is to develop my self-awareness and accountability. So for those who know the Bible, this is one of my favorite quotes. I like it and I don't like it. I'll read it first. So, you hypocrite, first take out the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So I translate this to mind your own business and work on yourself before you tell others what to do. And with three brothers, we were very good at telling each other what to do and not seeing what we had to do in our situations. And I've come to realize, actually with reflection, that if you blame other people for your situations in life, you don't have the freedom, you don't have the tools to change your life. You always have to I have to rely on my younger brother to be more fun, or my older brother to listen to me. I can never be happy. It's always someone else's responsibility. So especially last year, I think through trials and tribulations, I'm learning that I need to take more accountability of myself and not blame others for my situations. So, enough about me. Now the fun bit. So, a trip down memory lane. A fun fact is that there is actually a place called Memory Lane in London, but it's behind a hospital and it's not so special. It's just a small street. So this is only a very few things that I can summarize. There's actually a lot of things that happened last year. To say a few, like Bodil published her own autobiography, which is really cool. Linda started doing her own project, I think Mummy Matters. We've even had like Britta going to Cyprus, was it? On Women's Federation conference. Britta, Carlin and I went to Denmark. But also we had challenges like the persecution of the Japanese movement, and even something more personal to us, of Joseph's passing away. These are some of the few things that, you know, are really important to us, and but I wanted to try to pick, these were the things I wanted to focus on today, if that's all right with you. So the first one was actually in May. Peter was called by True Mother, not personally, but the leaders were called for a leaders meeting in Korea, and this was the same time where True Mother opened the Cheongwagung temple. So we can see that Peter's a really busy guy. He likes to meet people. Even on the field, he's got so many spirits around him. You can see that. But actually one thing that Peter did, which I think we should thank him for, is actually connecting with the witnessing programs. Because without him doing that, we wouldn't have had the witnessing teams, and things wouldn't have happened this year. So we have to, when you see him, do thank him for that. It was a good initiative on his part. And also at the same time, we actually had these 4 beautiful couples getting blessed. I mean, look at that. So we've actually got one down here, Sarah. So yeah, it's always nice to see people blessed, because it's like a new part of their life. And although it wasn't in Sweden like last time, I think it's always a beautiful, stressful experience wherever you are. Yeah, I think if you ask those who are blessed in Sweden and ask those who are blessed in Korea, it'll sound the same. It's just different language and different food, really. So hopefully, we'll see them coming this year, or maybe they move to England. Who knows? But we're happy for them, right? So the next thing that happened on our journey last year, this is actually one of my favorite things to summarize. It's Lawrence's World Peace Award Conference. I think it's the 3rd one that he's hosted, and it was over a Saturday and Sunday. Some of us attended both events. They were very long, very tiring. But, I was very inspired because I think a lot of people aspire to try and do something with their lives. And Lawrence is actually someone who really believes that culture is important. So he's actually putting his money where his mouth is, and he's working with the Thai community somehow to organize these very extravagant events. And also it gave Britta a platform. You can see a photo of her sharing about Women's Federation. And I don't know the details, but her and this professor from Iran or Iraq?
No.
Afghanistan? Afghanistan.
It was professor in Afghanistan.
Professor in Afghanistan.
She lives in Sweden now.
She lives in Sweden.
Very.
That's right. She actually joined is it a Women's Federation event in Cyprus with Britta. So it's actually quite a nice example of seeing like how initiatives do make a difference. Where I don't think Lawrence intended it for witnessing or part of the providence and directly, but God works with what you've got through your passions, through your dreams. So. So the next thing that happened actually was we didn't just have one, we had 2 witnessing teams that came over, right? And you may notice that both photos have me witnessing with them, but I've only done it like once or twice with them. Anne-Marie and Julie would have they went witnessing many times. And I think how it happened was they weren't meant to come this year. They were meant to come at the end of 2024. We were meant to have GPA, have everything planned. Everything was going to be smooth, the way I like it. I like to plan things. But then what happened was, I think Peter called me one day. It was really random. I thought, oh gosh, hey Peter, what is it? And he's like, I've got great news. Through some miscommunication, the UPA teams are coming at the end of August. And I'm like, oh my God. I think it was 2 weeks before they were coming, something like that, 3 weeks. So I have to say that this was probably one of the best miscommunications that we've had in Sweden, because I think we all have our experiences of what they've done for us. They've built relationships, they've loved us. Actually, here's a slide of what some of the things they've done is culture events, Christmas parties, lectures. But I think for me what they've done is they've really helped to not only inspire second generation, as Jeanette shared last week, but I think they give, it's like a way of showing appreciation to the first gen for what they did, because it is hard to understand living a public life unless you do it, and STF is only a small snippet of it. So what these missionaries are doing, they can really share with both the younger and the older members, and I think for that we'll always be grateful for their love and service to us. And I think they want to become Swedish, so I'm really happy for them. Yeah.
It's too cold.
It's too cold. Well, I think the team leaders don't mind that. The others were a bit like, oh, it's a bit too cold. So even like sharing Lucia, Christmas, New Year's with the second team, I don't know, really, I prefer comfort, but actually looking with hindsight, I really did enjoy having that sort of excitement and getting out of my comfort zone with having the teams to really get me out of bed and, do stuff. So during the time when the team were here, we had one of the largest UPF events, I think, for a long time here in Sweden, the Third Nordic Seminar, and there were over 60 guests. It was very flamboyant, very fancy, I felt, in not the Ritz Hotel, Haymarket Hotel. So I felt like I was kind of posh, but it was a great way of seeing guests and people networking, and we even had the chance to make Ezekiel an ambassador for peace. I think that was something we wanted to do for a long time, but actually it was beautiful. His acceptance speech or his video afterwards was quite moving. He really does love True Mother and True Parents and Heavenly Parent, and it's great to meet people in society who care about others. So it's not just us, it's not just Ezekiel. There are loads of people out there who have the same concerns as we do. It's just if we reach out, we can find them in our lives. So yeah. And so some of the things also, Dr. David Hanna gave a Sunday service, and I think around this time of year, the witnessing team went to Finland for a peace road. I don't have any photos, unfortunately, but you can use your imagination. It was must have been quite nice up in Finland. I've still yet to go up there. Yeah. So, what did I learn from 2023? There are 3 things that I've learned, all from different areas of life. So the first one was a lesson from God. What did I learn? God has his own schedule. So just like the UPA team coming, and even the Holy Day, I think it was May, right, Anne-Marie, when True Mother merged the Holy Days. And we were trying to organize like one weekend another, and confusing it, and then True Mother just practically went, no, let's just put it together. And I didn't understand why, but Anne-Marie's like, True Mother's practical, you should, it's true. So it made me realize, a few times it's like, don't worry, you follow God's plan, you'll be all right. The second lesson is from the community, from you guys. And the lesson for me was you can always learn something new if you give God a chance. So through witnessing, through being in the core team, I think through just serving the community, I always like to think with an open mind and reflecting. I've learned many things about myself, and sometimes it's old stuff, sometimes it's stuff I never even realised within myself. For example, Tim has taught me indirectly, don't complain. He didn't say I complained too much, but one of the things during the DP lectures was the challenges of the Israelites, that they shouldn't complain when Moses was guiding them. I know Tim doesn't mean it to me, but it was the one thing that I got from him. It was, maybe I should try not to complain, and if you ask Nina, she would probably appreciate that lesson being taught to me. So, and then the third lesson was from myself. It's a bit of a repeat from one of the earlier quotes, but it's actually true to myself. Taking 100% accountability gives me the freedom to be myself, to be happy. I feel like this one will definitely be challenged during 2024, because I'm sure I'll be tempted to, as the second lesson, to complain. But hopefully through you guys, through myself, and those around me, maybe maybe this year will be a great year for me. Yes?
What's the difference between accountability and responsibility?
I wish you didn't ask me that.
Like accountability is you accept responsibility.
Yeah, there we go.
Action or
Accept.
accept it.
All right, so I'll ask the question. I learned this from the monk. Mikael asked, what's the difference between accountability and responsibility? And Tim said accountability is taking responsibility.
You're accepting responsibility.
You're accepting responsibility. Okay. Maybe I should check what I put on. Yeah. Yeah. So these were the lessons that I took for myself, and hopefully I can practice it this year. And that's it for 2023. But now that we're in 2024, I thought I would share what True Mother said, how she started the year off. I'll read it from here. So 2024 is the year of the blue dragon, ! As we embark on the 12th year of Chunolguk, we are greeted by the year of the blue dragon, signaling a year filled with opportunities for growth, embracing changes and overcoming challenges. May this year bring the realization of all your dreams, and may your families be enveloped in the warmth and love of the true parents. Wishing you a happy, joyous and prosperous year in 2024. So I also checked on Google that apparently anyone born this year will become natural leaders. And so I looked at Nina, not that we're having kids, but who knows. But I said to her, maybe it could be spiritually, you get spiritual revival, become a leader. Why leave it to literal things, hey? And just before I end, I actually wanted to say that maybe instead of just enjoying fika, you could, or enjoying, yourself at home, maybe you can take the time to share with someone what it means to you to reflect, and why do you, if you do it, why does it bring joy to you, or what does it bring to your life? And who knows, maybe you can share something that is like a little golden nugget of wisdom for them. So on that, I would like to say thank you.